Dear students, hope you are all safe and sound. Today we are going to discuss novel chapter 3 titled The Second of the Three Spirits, part 1 till page 32. We knew earlier that when Marley's ghost visited Scrooge, he told him that he would be visited by three spirits. This chapter will cover the visit of the second spirit and how the spirit helped in developing Scrooge's character. Now let's have a look at page 26. He felt sure that the second spirit would soon visit him. This time he wanted to be ready. Here we can notice the difference in Scrooge's reactions towards meeting the first spirit and meeting the second spirit. When he met the first spirit, he was afraid of him and thought about pretending to be ill to go out. But when he met the second spirit, he was curious to meet him and was eager to learn new lessons to be changed. If we go to page 27, we can find out how the character of Scrooge developed as he was ready to learn from the second spirit new lessons. This is clear when Scrooge said, "Take me where you want. Last night I learned a lesson which is working now. If you have anything to teach me tonight, let me learn from you." The second spirit is called the Ghost of Christmas Present. It appeared as a cheerful and friendly spirit, wearing a green robe, and was surrounded by piles of the best Christmas food. All the walls were covered with bright green leaves. This shows that it represented the spirit of Christmas, the true meaning of Christmas, generosity and happiness. In page 27, it is mentioned that the spirit seemed specially interested in poor people. Why do you think the spirit was interested in poor people? Yes, because religious celebrations, especially Christmas, focus more on the happiness of poor people. Then the second spirit held his torch over the dinners of poor people. Sometimes when he saw people pushing each other or getting angry, he lifted his torch over their heads, and immediately they became kinder or stopped arguing because it's Christmas, they told each other. It gives a special taste to people's dinners on this day. Here we can recognize the role of the spirit's torch. First, it makes poor people kinder, stop fighting and arguing to enjoy Christmas. In addition, it gives a special taste to people's Christmas dinner. The second spirit's interest in poor people is also stressed in page 29, when Scrooge asked the second spirit, "Why do you use it most on poor people?" "Because poor people need it most," was the reply of the second spirit. Afterwards, the spirit took Scrooge to the Cratchits' house. In page 29, we know more about their life's conditions and how they celebrated Christmas. First, it is mentioned that they wore their everyday clothes, although it was Christmas. Why do you think so? Yes, because they couldn't afford buying new clothes. Then, in the same page, the young Cratchits said, "We are having a really big chicken for dinner." Was it really a big chicken? Of course no, it is written here that it was only a small chicken, but it seemed large to the excited children. After that, the spirit showed Scrooge Bob's little son, Tiny Tim. Poor Tiny Tim, he had not walked since he was born, and although he could pull himself and his thin legs, along with the help of a wooden crutch, he was not strong enough to travel far alone. Tiny Tim was crippled and would die if he didn't get proper medical treatment. What do you infer from what was mentioned before? Yes, the Cratchits were poor. So far we have two evidence of the Cratchits' poverty. First, they couldn't afford buying new clothes for Christmas. In addition, they had only a small chicken for Christmas dinner. Who do you think is responsible for the poverty? Of course, it's Scrooge, who paid Bob only 15 shillings a week. Normally, we would expect that the Cratchits were miserable, right? To our great surprise, they weren't. The Cratchits were poor but happy and grateful for the little things they had. This is obvious in page 30. It was a poor enough meal, but to them it seemed wonderful, and they ate every bit of it. In page 31 we can figure out another evidence of the Cratchits' poverty. Oh, it was a wonderful pudding. They were all delighted with it. Here they had a small pudding for Christmas dinner. In page 32 we continue to see much evidence of the Cratchits' poverty. As it is written, only 3 people could drink at the same time because the family only owned 2 glasses and a cup. Do you think seeing these chatters has any effect on Scrooge? To our surprise again, Scrooge was so interested in Tiny Tim, to the extent that he asked the spirit if Tiny Tim would live. And chapter 3, part 1 ends with the spirit's shocking answer. In the future, I see an empty chair by the fire, with a crutch beside it. If these shadows do not change, the child will die. If his life does not change soon, he will die before next Christmas. Thanks, my dear students, for listening.